Hello and welcome back to the Eastwick Conference's film breakdown series, where last night Jaren Jackson Jr. put up 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists on 8 of 17 shooting to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves on national television in what would turn out to be his last game as a Memphis Grizzly. Yes, if you haven't heard the news, the Grizzlies just traded Jaren to the Utah Jazz for a haul of draft picks and young players. And so I wanted to get on here today and just celebrate his tenure with the Grizzlies with one of the better scoring performances that he's had this season. It's been kind of a down year for Jaren, or at least it started as a down year. He has rebounded nicely over the last couple of months, averaging 19 points per game on the season. And I think that this game was a good encapsulation of all of the different things that he brings on the offensive end. Obviously, we all know he is an all-world defender, but I want to focus on the offensive end of the floor because I think his fit in Utah moving forward is very interesting because of that. The big thing that people think of, I think, when it comes to Jaren throughout his career is the three-point shooting. He shot 3 for 6 in this game. On the season, he's shooting 37% on spot-up threes. You can see on the pick and pop there against more drop-oriented players, or when defenses converge more on the driver with the ball in his hands. He is a real option as a release valve and can make defenses pay from far away at the top of the key there. He does have that range and that shooting touch. But something that's really evolved for him, really since the 2024 season, when Memphis was really kind of in hell and it was just Jaren out there, really got to expand his offensive repertoire, spread his wings in a real way, is the evolution of his driving game. You see here he gets the screen and he's able to work downhill against a small spin and some really nice touch around the rim. That's going to be a theme that we'll see. This time gets another screen around Julius Randle, but then he's able to drive right into Naz Reid. So he has that touch we see there, and he combines it with that huge frame. You can see how wide his shoulders are. He's a thick guy. Right there, he's able to get to the free throw line. Shot 11 free throws in this game. His free throw rate is actually lower than you'd expect, but I think the way that he plays there, Julius Randle fouls him again. That downhill pressure that he's constantly applying, I think is conducive to being a pretty high free throw rate guy moving forward. Hopefully that's something that we'll see in Utah, because that rim pressure and the way that he's able to do it in that sort of unorthodox, herky-jerky way in that short mid-range is really fun to watch, and it's pretty unorthodox for defenders to deal with. And as Jaren has grown as a driver, he's really emerged over the last few seasons as one of the NBA's premier isolation threats in the mid-range area of the floor. In this game, we're going to see he took Rudy Gobert on Defensive Player of the Year against Defensive Player of the Year. Gobert having a stellar season on that end of the floor. Still a 7'1" guy with a crazy wingspan, not easy to shoot over. And you'll see Jaren is going to be able to use his combination of physicality and touch to just go at the guy one-on-one. There, that little spin move into that up and under. Just really nice stuff going at a real rim protector who is able to contest shots at a high level. You can see they're clearing out the floor for him, and he's able to go right to work there. He draws free throws once again. Gobert wasn't ready for that. And then this time, he actually gets blocked down low, but he's able to use his composure. And again, that frame to stay down low, stay right there, and go up and finish over the top. And then here you can see that quickness, catches Rudy off guard, and he's able to get to his spot and finish with his left hand there. There's an ambidextrousness to his finishing. So overall, Jaren, it sucks that he's no longer a Grizzly. Again, one of 2 players to ever win the Defensive Player of the Year award for this franchise. Was a staple of one of the most fun eras in this franchise's history. Blossomed into not just an all-defense stalwart, but a multi-time all-star. Even though he had a down year really to start this season, as he got healthier, he's really rounded into form. We'll see how much he ends up playing in Utah, because they don't want to be good enough so as to give their pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder come springtime. But next year, the combination in the front court of Jaren, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler really has the promise to be one of the most dynamic and humongous front courts in the league, between the dynamic shooting and scoring of Markkanen and Jaren in different areas of the floor, and then the defensive, real just terrifying potential. I didn't have words to think of it, because there aren't really words for the high end of a Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr. defensive front court. I think that the Jazz really have the potential to take a step forward, depending on how much Keontae George continues to grow and where they end up picking in the draft. It's a very exciting team to think about, and I can't wait to see how Jaren's career continues to blossom in Salt Lake City. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a great day.